So today we have a awesome review for you guys. Normally, y'all see normal background, y'all see just normal stuff. But today, we have an actual background. We have the CZV sign, has to have it. And then we have the WWE logo. Beautiful. Now, the only time that WWE logo will not fit in is whenever we are doing AEW show reviews, so that'll be pretty awkward. But for the meantime, it's gonna be here. Um, I would love to say that this is staying for a while. I would love to say that the setup is staying for a while, but it is not. This is a temporary setup, and this will probably be the only time you see this setup. So say your goodbyes. But I'm gonna try to get a better setup. I'm gonna try to get y'all better audio like this video. This headset is not mine, and I'm be using this for this video, and because we're far away, so you need your space, I need my space. Let's jump right into this Smackdown review. Last night was an awesome Smackdown. I think nobody can tell me any different. It was a awesome Smackdown, and I definitely would say that it was one of the best Smackdowns we've had in a while. Obviously, this was a double taping from Monday Night Raw this week. We saw Monday Night Raw, obviously. We all know what Monday Night Raw was. I was out of town. That's why you did not see a review on the YouTube. But for the people who are watching this on YouTube, if you go over to CZV Wrestling or CZV underscore Wrestling underscore 2309 on Twitch, you'll be able to watch this live and before everybody else, which I would very much recommend because the family on Twitch is growing and they're all following because they want to see these videos early. So if you want to see them early, come over to the Twitch where you get them earlier than everybody else. But we kicked off the show last night on SmackDown with Cody Rhodes coming out after winning the King of the Ring tournament. And, he defeated Randy Orton. And he did what everybody thought that he might not have done. And a lot of people were believing in Orton going into that match. But I always thought Cody was going to win. Y'all know that already. But Cody ends up winning. And I think that is awesome. So now, what's next for Cody? He's going to face Cena at SummerSlam. But before that, we saw Randy Orton interrupt Cody, and that was huge. We nobody really was expecting that, but we get that. We get Randy interrupting him, and before long, Drew McIntyre returns. Drew McIntyre's back after his Hell in a Cell match with CM Punk. No, it isn't. I'm lying. With his Hell in a Cell match or his steel cage match with Damian Priest at Saturday night's main event. He's finally back after a month, and he's ready to destroy. So Drew's back. He's looking to cause carnage, and I'm really excited to see what he can do. We all know Drew. We all know what he's capable of. And before long, Randy Orton RKO's Drew. And now we are going to see Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre at Saturday night's main event. And for me, it's special because I started watching pro wrestling in 2019, where one of the first rivalries I ever watched in WWE was Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton in 2020 for the WWE Championship with their stuff that they had. They had an ambulance match at one point. They had a Hell in a Cell match, which both of those matches were really good. So for me, it's an awesome moment to see these two go back at it at Saturday night's main event, and I think it's going to be an awesome showing. Everybody knows what these two are capable of, and it's going to be nice seeing them go back against each other in the ring. So I'm really excited for that, but I think it's going to be really nice to see. I'm going to be really happy about it. I'm happy for him, but my only problem is how are we going to get to Randy Orton to stay afloat in this match? I think that it is a no, given that Drew has to win. Drew McIntyre has to win this match. He's coming back. It's a given that he has to win. So, in that order, one person wins, one person loses. Randy's going to lose. And that's what I think, at least. And if Randy loses, then I don't know how much it'll hurt him. Unless Drew just completely buries him, I don't think it'll hurt him that much. That's just a personal opinion of mine. I don't think it'll hurt him too much. I don't think it's going to be that bad. But I think that Saturday night's main event can either make or break. And there's a couple of matches that is supposed to be on this card that I think will be on this card. And I think that Drew versus Randy should main event 100%. it would just be nice for the fans. Obviously, we did not get Cody and Randy main event and Night of Champions for obvious reasons, but they opened the show, which I thought was nice. But I think that Randy and Drew deserves the main event, unless we have Cena on the card, which I have not seen the poster for Saturday night's main event just yet. But there might be John Cena on the poster, in which that will mean that he will be on the card. So obviously Cena will be the main event. But if Cena is not the main event, if Cena is not on the card, I think that Drew and Randy deserves it, whether that's a hot take or not. Next, I want to dive into the Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair team up that we saw. We saw Nick Aldis give Charlotte and a random partner the opportunity to go out there and try to face Machen and B-Fab to see who will go on to be at Evolution 2. And that was obviously huge because before long, Alexa stood beside Charlotte, and we saw that those two were going to tag together. But I think that it's so cool to see because everybody wants Charlotte and Alexa to team up, and now Charlotte's finally giving in, and I'm super excited. But especially seeing them defeat Meechin and B-Fab, I feel bad for B-Fab. Not so much for Meechin because I mean y'all know I'm gonna be completely honest on this channel. Y'all know how we are. We're completely honest on every take we have, and this is a take that I'm gonna have to stand behind. I don't feel so bad for Machen than I do B-Fab. B-Fab posts all these videos on how hard she works, and I just feel like that she doesn't get rewarded as much as I think she should. So, whether y'all think I'm kind of stretching it out here, after the match we saw B-Fab and, or I don't know which one posted it, but B-Fab and Machen posted a video of how they're going to eventually get what they want and how they're eventually going to do all these things, and I really hope it does happen. But I kind of took the attention off of Charlotte and Alexa there. I think that Charlotte and Alexa, they have the opportunity to go and beat Raquel and Roxanne, but I think that it is a bit too early to take the titles off of Roxanne and Raquel because, I mean, technically this is Roxanne's first defense with Raquel, if you do not count the reign that Liv and Raquel had. So it's good that we're not stripping the titles off of Raquel and Liv, but we're just putting it on Roxanne for the meantime. But I'm still just kind of confused because we know this. We saw this in the past before. Obviously, very recently, whenever we saw Solo Sikoa put the title on Jacob Fatu instead of Tongaloa. So I think that we see this a lot, but now I think they really need to capitalize. Roxanne, it's looking like they're going to try to go with the route of Roxanne taking everything away from Liv while she's on her timeout while she has this injury. So if they're going for that, they need to do it 100% and they cannot waste a single beat. I think that Roxanne needs to take everything from Liv. She needs to take Dom. She needs to take the titles, which she's already done. She needs to have a successful title reign and try to be a better in-ring performer than Liv while she can. I don't believe that she can, but because, I mean, personally, I know my brother, he either, if he's watching this or not, he is a huge fan of Roxanne Perez, and he thinks the moon shines on Roxanne Perez. But, I mean, I believe that Liv Morgan is a better in-ring superstar than Roxanne Perez, and I think that y'all could agree with that too. I think that Roxanne is not there yet, and y'all know how much I love Roxanne. I just don't think she's on Liv Morgan's level yet. She's on a huge level. I mean, she's next level superstar. She's one of the best superstars that the WWE has to offer, but I don't think she's on Liv Morgan's level just yet. I think that if you are going to stay in the place of Liv Morgan, you have to really do it right here. So I think that the only way we're going to get a successful Judgment Day run from Roxanne Perez is if, for the meantime, we get her as a good tag champ, still in Dominic, doing all these things that'll make Liv mad whenever she comes back, and that's how we're going to do it. I just have a hard time believing that she can be better than Liv. Whether that's biasy or not, I just don't think she can. But next, I want to dive into the whoa, I almost skipped it. I posted it on my Instagram today. I did not catch it while I was watching Smackdown, but somebody posted and asked if the WWE leaked the Evolution 2, that match, that Fatal 4 Women's Tag match. Somebody said that they leaked it. on the show last night on Smackdown. So I want to see if they did. I want to see in the future if we should have been paying attention to this. But it said that the Dungeon Girls of Natalia and Maxine Dupree, I'm going to tell y'all everybody that they said was supposedly going to be in the match on that poster. The Dungeon Girls with Maxine and Natalia, obviously Raquel and Roxanne, Alexa and Charlotte, and I think it was Sol and Zarya. That's what it was. Those 6 women right there were the ones that they said were going to be the randoms. And obviously, we know there's going to be there's going to be a tag team from Raw, NXT, and SmackDown. And we already got the SmackDown one. So now we just need Raw and NXT. And I would not be surprised if we do get Zarya and Sol Ruka, which will be the best option because that's going to put on a banger match. So overall, I think with the stuff that we got for Evolution right now, Evolution is looking like such a good PLE, and it's going to be something that will really put the shine on the women and will do great things. But next, want to touch on the Tiffany Stratton segment where we get Tiffany coming out there and choosing who she wants to face at Evolution 2 whenever Jade Cargill interrupts her and says just pretty much that she won Queen of the Ring. She's excited to face Tiffany at SummerSlam until Trish Stratus comes out. And we know Trish and Tiffany have teamed together in the past. I believe that's the last time we saw Trish. So now we're going to see Trish versus Tiffany at Evolution because in this segment, Tiffany says that she wants to face Trish at Evolution. That's what we're going to get. So, super exciting. Everybody wants this match. I think it's going to put on an awesome match. I think it's going to be great. But I just feel like that it's going to be weird because I thought as soon as I saw Nikki Bella coming out and that she was going to be a part of Evolution 2, was supposed to be against Liv Morgan, I had a feeling that we were going to get all these legends. And whenever I made that video talking about that, the one person that I mentioned that I thought would be on Evolution due to the fact that I saw Nikki Bella was Trish Stratus. And this is right. So we get Trish on the card now. Not that mad at it, to be honest. I'm not as mad as I thought I would be. But I think that Tiffany should win this, but in the end, I think that it's all going to revolve around SummerSlam. It's gonna revolve around that Money in the Bank briefcase that Naomi is holding, that custom briefcase that we know now, in that caution case. So I think that it's going to be an awesome thing for Naomi. Whenever SummerSlam rolls around, we're going to see Naomi cash in on either Tiffany or Jade. I think that Jade will defeat Tiffany, and in that case, I think Naomi will cash in on Jade. It just has to happen, and I think that will set up the match between Jade Cargill, Naomi, and Bianca Belair in that triple threat for the women's title. It has to happen. I think that it is a given that it needs to happen. So, I'm excited. The women's division's looking awesome, and I think if there's anything that we need to put our eyes on right now in 2025 in the big 2-5 on the women's division, it is Naomi in that women's championship. Next up, something that I was really mad about whenever I saw, and that was Rey Fenix and Andrade defeating Fraxium. I cannot tell you how mad I was. I made a video on it and I posted it on Instagram as soon as it happened. And I was irate that Andrade and Rey defeated Fraxium. We called Fraxium up from NXT. They had a good couple of matches and they even got a title shot at one point. But that obviously got interrupted by the White Six coming back. So I thought that we were going to be putting them against another high caliber tag team in Andrade and Rey Fenix, which I was not mad at the match being announced ultimately, but I was mad at the ending with Andrade defeating Rey and Rey defeating Fraxium. And the only reason I was really mad was because Andrade and Rey Fenix isn't even a real tag team. So why are we having them defeat a team that is actually real and that has potential to be one of the greatest tag teams of all time after their career's over? I don't understand it, but I know many people were kind of on the edge about it, and it was not as mad as I was. So I'm going to let it slide. But definitely was not happy with it happening. I will say that. But I don't know. I feel like that we should not be having a non-tag team defeat a real tag team. It just doesn't sit right with me. But I know, let me know what y'all think in the comments. I know I am streaming on Twitch, but I don't really look at the chat that much because I don't want to pull it up, and I'm just trying to review the show. And I know I was doing it in the last stream earlier, but not now because that stream had no audio. Just noticed that stream had no audio. So I had to redo it, and this is the third time redoing it. But Now we're going to get to the meat and potatoes. The last match of the night, Jacob Fatu and Jimmy Uso faces Solo Sikoa and JC Mateo. We had Jacob and Jimmy ultimately win the match, and the biggest part about this match, in my opinion, was Jacob pinning Solo to win the match. That means that Jacob has Solo's number, Solo has Jacob's number. They've both pinned each other, but I think the main issue is Jacob pinned Solo without any help, with just Jimmy by his side, and whenever Solo beat Jacob at Night of Champions, we saw Solo have help from Hikuleo or Tala Tonga and Tonga Loa. So that proves that Jacob's still being a strong character and still remains a strong character after losing the title. I don't think he should have lost the title in the first place, but it is good to see Solo with the championship. This is his first main roster championship ever, and I think he's going to be a great champion. But I still would way rather see it on Jacob Fatu. He just seems like a better champion, and he controls his character way more. And I said this before about Solo Sikoa's character. If you're going to be a heel, you got to act like a heel, and you cannot keep cracking these jokes. You can't make the fans laugh. And even though I love it, it's just not something that you do as a heel. So I don't know. It just doesn't. I don't like how it is, but many people do. But Jacob pinned Solo to get the win in the main event of SmackDown. But then after the match is what really shook it up, with Tonga Loa attacking Jimmy and Jacob, and then eventually we get Tala Tonga, and that all sums up with Tala Tonga, JC Mateo, and Tonga Loa putting Jacob Fatu through the announcer's table, and this makes me wonder, where is Tama Tonga? If Tama comes back and he joins Solo once again, it's going to stir up a whole bunch of madness because, in my opinion, there's no reason that Solo should have this many character by his side anyway. I think that he should not be having this big old faction around him. I feel like that we should have stopped at Jeff Cobb. I think that the Tongans were enough. The Tongans and Jacob Fatu were enough, and they had enough aura. So I think that was enough. So I loved the SmackDown. Just a few things that I think character development wise should not have happened. I think that ultimately, what I got out of this week's SmackDown was that we're going to see awesome matches at Evolution. We're going to see a heck of a match between Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre at Saturday night's main event this upcoming Saturday. And I do want to touch on the fact that WWE is trying to overlap AEW this Saturday, and I've made up my mind I am not going to buy All In. I really want to so bad, but at the end of the day, it is $50, and it is their biggest show of the year, and it is something that I want to watch so much. Y'all don't even understand how much I want to watch this show, but it's too expensive, and I'm not paying $50 to watch an AEW PLE and their biggest PLE, even though I'm a huge AEW fan. Like today, I'm literally wearing the Mercedes Moné shirt. I'm excited to see her versus Toni Storm, and I'm really ecstatic, and I'm super excited for this Saturday. But I know All In is not this Saturday. It's July 12th, and I think that Saturday night's main event is in 2 weeks, I believe. But I could be wrong on that, but I just feel like that right now I want to watch AEW so much, and I'm watching it every single week and posting news on the page, but I'm not comfortable with it just yet to pay $50. And $50 is every PLE that I've seen, at least. Every PLE that I've wanted to watch is $50 to pay. I'm just waiting for them to sign a deal where I can buy that deal, or I really want them to just sign with Peacock, so that Peacock has every single pro wrestling pay-per-view or PLE, and boom, there it is. You don't have to pay for it. I feel like they need to do that sooner and later, or else eventually they're going to have to bring them prices down, because there's no way anyone's paying $50 online. But I'm sure some of you have fell for the bait and have fell for their marketing idea, and is obviously paying that $50, because I wanted to at the start, but not now. And also, I do want to touch on Slammiversary, TNA Slammiversary. I am still on the fence about buying that. Whenever that does come around the corner, whenever that is a little bit closer, I'm going to be thinking about buying that. Obviously, that is in July, or that is this month, obviously. But I do want to see what the pay-per-view prices are for that show. I've only bought one TNA pay-per-view in my lifetime, and it was pretty good. It was TNA Against All Odds. It was only $10, so I pulled the trigger on it. But this is arguably the biggest TNA pay-per-view of all time because we're seeing NXT crossover with TNA, and I think that that's a huge opportunity for TNA, and it's going to really put the spotlight on them, and they're going to have a lot of sales. So they know that they're going to have a lot of sales. They know that they're going to have WWE fans intrigued to buy their pay-per-view, so they're obviously going to raise the prices for their show, and I don't know if I'm going to be willing to pay $20, and that's just something that I'm not really willing to pay just yet. But once I do start making money from content creation, I'm going to be paying for more wrestling shows, which is something that I'm really excited for, and which is something that I'm mainly focusing on whenever I do end up getting paid from content creation and from Instagram, from YouTube. That's what I'm going to be focusing on, is to buy the PLEs, to update y'all. And that's why I bought the Triller subscription, so I could let y'all know about indie news, and that is currently what I'm paying for now. But Smackdown was really cool. I know it just went on a little ramble there, but I think Smackdown was really cool. I hope y'all enjoy this stream, and I'm sad that this setup right here is temporary, but I'm gonna try to get a little table back here that is not gonna be used and that I can actually have. So I'm gonna try to get. I'm gonna try to keep this set up. I don't think it's gonna happen, but I'm gonna attempt to. I'm gonna try my hardest. But without further ado, I'll see y'all boys in the next one, and I hope y'all enjoyed SmackDown last night. And I will get back to y'all whenever either big news comes out or at the next show, which will be either tonight or tomorrow for AEW Collision. So I'll see y'all boys in the next one. Deuces, deuces.